A viral video making its rounds on various platforms, including Reddit and Twitter, features a comedian from New Jersey. I looked into him. His name is Vic DiBenedetto, and he is usually pretty funny. But in the video that went viral, he's actually being very serious about the lack of financial relief that average Americans have received in the middle of this pandemic. Let's hear what he had to say.
We understand that the virus is not your fault. It happened. It is what it is. I'm not going to get into that idea that maybe you could have acted sooner. We can deal with that when this is all over. But here's the deal. We need a real plan. It was the right move to make everyone stay home because that's the only way to deal with a virus like this. But here's where I have a problem. So, you told us to shut down non-essential businesses. You told us to go home and quarantine. You told us we have to keep social distance and stay inside. But you told us you would help. So where is the help? These checks are what they are. I mean, let's be serious. I'm not going to turn away $1,200 because number one, if you're going to give it to me, I'm taking it. And number two, it's our money, not yours. It's ours. We paid that in taxes for everything we do every day.
Oh, I love that because we do need to start remembering that. We need to have our mindset in the same place his mindset's at, and not necessarily with the same fire, even though I love the fire, but like we need to stop acting like these government programs that provide economic relief to us, like are, you know, just like we're mooching off the system. What do you mean we're mooching off the system? We pay our taxes. We pay more in taxes than Amazon does. So like, what's the whole point of paying taxes? Just to bail out corporations? To fund wars abroad? Is that the only thing our taxes are for? Whenever it comes to our social safety net, which is really the only thing our taxes should be emphasized for, we get slapped in the face over and over again. You know, and I got into this argument with people close to me who have just always seen unemployment insurance as, oh, it's a government program for lazy people who don't want to work. And I'm just like, yeah, except you pay for it. How much you get paid in unemployment insurance, I know it varies state by state, but it depends on how much you've contributed to unemployment insurance. Like, it's just, it's crazy that people don't remember that and get brainwashed by the propaganda on Fox News that paints us as terrible people when we ask our government to help when we need help.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I'm watching that new show, Mrs. America, about, the fight over the Equal Rights Amendment and everything. And it's obviously so frustrating to see, the one of the sides in this fight actively fighting against their own interests. They've been propagandized too. But we have that in every other major conflict in America. And even like one of the ways that it's maintained is like, so there are those checks. The checks are going out. Hypothetically, a lot of people are going to get them. I know I've talked to a lot and they haven't, and it's not enough. It's one time. I got news for DC in 9 days. People have to pay rent again. Who knows how they're going to do it? But like they did pass it and Trump signed it. And like that's the sort of thing, hypothetically, a big, this is going to the people, right? It's like, is Fox News talking about that as like a good thing? Like, here, look at what the Republicans have delivered for you? No, because they're savvy enough to realize, okay, well, we don't want to get people used to the idea that the government is supposed to be looking out for them, protecting them, even though it was a tiny portion of the total effort, both in focus and in dollars. They don't want to magnify it at all in people's minds. And they know that people are still suffering. And so they come up with their distractions. Every day it's something new. And that's why it's so frustrating that you don't have a strong response. You have some people in the media who are saying we need follow-up legislation. The expectation appears to be at this point that the legislation that actually directly helps the working class is effectively done. We need a stronger response because that's sort of like, he's a comedian, very funny, but a lot of people are feeling the exact same way, and it's only going to get worse.
Right. And the way that everything's been set up has basically made us so vulnerable to this pandemic, right? Because everything has always been, not always, but it's gotten more and more about profits over people. And so, yeah, the mindset of congressional leaders is, no, we got to spend trillions of dollars in bailing out corporations. And then when it comes to the average American, screw them. Let's give them this one-time check hopefully it'll keep them calm so they don't go out in the streets and start rioting. And we'll be on with our lives. It's totally fine. But it's not fine. It's not fine. People want to do the responsible thing, but there are people out there who are desperate right now because they don't know how to pay their rent. And you're right. I didn't even realize that we're already in like late April and rent's coming up. So people don't know what to do. And that's why I think it's important to like disaggregate the protesters, because while some of them are ridiculous, nonsensical individuals who are, you know, part of the Proud Boys and like the Tea Party movement, whatever, there is a portion of protesters who just they can't rely on government because government has let them down over and over again through the defunding of the social safety net. And they think, look, the only thing I can do is go back to work so I can provide for myself and my kids. And so they're desperate and they don't think they can rely on our lawmakers. And the reason why they think that is because our lawmakers have let them down over and over again. And partially the propaganda from conservative media has been, if you ever seek help, which by the way is funded by your own tax dollars, you're a bad person, you're lazy, you're a moocher. It's just that's the situation we're living in. And it felt really good to hear that guy with that awesome accent make that point.
It really raised it up a notch.
Him? Yeah, it was so good. I watched a bunch of his other videos after that. He's great. So check him out. He's got a YouTube channel.
I might have to work on an accent.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.